Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
A chilly evening in 1954. In a small American town, a dim light filters through a kitchen window. Near the sink, a little girl sits on a wooden stool while her mother pours warm water from an old jug over her hair. Do you want to know the most surprising part? There is no expensive shampoo, no conditioner, and no hair mask. Just a bar of soap and a bottle of apple cider vinegar. Yet, when that girl goes to school the next day, her hair shines with a luster no less than that of a Hollywood star. Today, we are lost in a mountain of bottles and chemicals. But our grandmothers and great-grandmothers held secrets hidden right inside their kitchen cupboards. These were tricks that were not only cheap but gave hair the kind of natural life for which we spend thousands of dollars today. Welcome. You are watching Nostalgic America. Here, we open those beautiful windows to the past that have been obscured by the dust of time. In today's special video, I will tell you about 20 amazing hair tricks from the 1950s that ruled American households for decades. These methods are just as effective in the modern era as they were 70 years ago. So, come with me on this journey through time and let's revive these forgotten secrets. Method number 20, the once-a-week wash. In today's world, we are taught that washing our hair every other day is essential. But in the 1950s, that would have been considered quite strange. Women at that time washed their hair only once a week, usually on Friday nights. This wasn't just about laziness, it was a science. When you wash your hair constantly, the chemicals in shampoo strip away the natural oils from your scalp. In response, your body produces even more oil, making the hair greasy. Women in the 50s understood this cycle. They trained their hair to produce less oil, allowing their hair to maintain its shine and style for 7 full days. Today's no-poo movement is actually just a new version of this old tradition. Method number 19, rag curls for girls ***. If you were to peek into an American home in 1952, you'd see little girls sleeping with scraps of cloth tied to their heads. In those days, expensive heating tools weren't common. Instead, mothers would cut old bed sheets or pillowcases into long strips. Damp hair was wrapped around these cloth strips and tied in a knot. These were far more comfortable than metal clips, so children could sleep peacefully. In the morning, when the rags were untied, beautiful waves and spring-like curls would fall, results that even the most expensive modern curling iron struggled to replicate. No electricity was spent, and there was no fear of burning the hair. Method number 18, the chamomile tea rinse. Nowadays, women spend hundreds of dollars at beauty parlors for highlights to brighten their hair. But in 1954, this job was handled by a tea kettle. Women with blonde or light brown hair would brew a strong pot of chamomile tea, let it cool, and pour it over their hair as a final rinse. This wasn't a chemical dye, it was a natural process. It wasn't washed out but left to dry in the hair. This not only gave the hair a honey-like golden tint but also left behind the enchanting scent of apples and flowers. It was nature's own salon, and the fee was just a few cents. Method number 17, sugar water setting lotion. Would you believe that the alternative to today's expensive hairspray was sitting in your kitchen sugar jar? In the 1950s, when women needed to keep their hairstyles intact for hours, they used a mixture of sugar and water. 2 spoons of sugar were dissolved in boiling water, cooled, and filled into a small bottle. Before rolling the hair, they would apply it with their fingers. Once dry, this liquid held the hair so firmly that whether there was a strong wind outside or a dance party, the hair wouldn't budge. It worked better than any $40 styling product today, and it cost less than a penny. Method number 16, cornstarch dry shampoo ***. Today, dry shampoo is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but for our grandmothers, it was just one thing from the kitchen, cornstarch or powder. When hair started to feel a bit greasy during the week, women would sprinkle a little cornstarch onto the roots. After 2 minutes, they would brush it out. The powder absorbed all the excess oil, and the hair looked as if it had just been washed. Today, That same cornstarch is put into fancy packaging and sold for $12 to $15, while in the 1950s, it was a recipe that cost only a few cents. Method number 15, the gelatin protein mask. In the 1950s, when women wanted immense shine and strength for their hair, they would grab a packet of Knox gelatin from the baking aisle. A spoonful of colorless gelatin was dissolved in warm water and poured over the hair. What we call a keratin treatment today, paying up to $100 for it at a salon, was essentially this. Gelatin is pure animal protein that creates a protective layer around the hair, making it shine like glass. This 10-cent trick is still just as effective today. Method number 14, the egg shampoo. If a woman's hair became very dry or lifeless, she would use eggs instead of shampoo. Taking 2 eggs from the fridge, she would whisk them and rub them into damp hair. The lecithin found in eggs acted as a natural cleanser. Just one precaution was necessary: the hair always had to be rinsed with cold water, otherwise, the hot water would cook the egg right in the hair. This left the hair as soft as silk. Method number 13, mayonnaise mask. In 1955, a jar of Hellmann's mayonnaise wasn't just for sandwiches. Women would apply a thick layer of mayonnaise to their hair, wrap a warm towel around their head, and sit for half an hour. The oil, egg, and vinegar in the mayonnaise opened the hair pores to provide deep moisture. When they washed it out, their hair would flow like water. This one kitchen staple gave better results than today's most expensive conditioner. Method number 12, rosemary water. Rosemary water is very viral on social media these days, but American women in the 1950s had been using it for generations. They would pluck rosemary sprigs from the kitchen garden and boil them in water to create a concentrated solution. Massaging the scalp with this water not only accelerated hair growth but also naturally darkened the hair over time. Modern research also agrees that rosemary water is just as effective at stopping hair loss as expensive medications. Number 11, beer for hair volume. Have you ever wondered why women's hair in the old days looked so thick? One secret was beer. A can of beer was left open overnight so the gas could escape. After washing the hair, it was poured over the strands. The malt and hops in the beer thickened every individual hair shaft. When the hair dried, it possessed a volume and shine that is impossible to achieve with any modern mousse or spray. Method number 10, lemon juice and sunlight ***. In the 1950s, girls would spend summer afternoons sitting on porch steps, applying lemon juice to their hair. The citric acid in the lemon, combined with the sun's rays, created natural golden highlights that looked perfectly authentic. No chemicals were needed, just a lemon, a comb, and a little bit of patience. Method number 9, finger waves. This was an era where beauty didn't just mean buying products, it meant learning an art. Women would twist damp hair into a specific S shape using only their fingers and a comb, securing them with metal clips. No heating iron was required. This was a skill mothers passed down to their daughters, a mastery that couldn't be bought in a store. Method number 8, the silk scarf ***. A 1950s woman would never go to sleep with her head uncovered if she had set her hair. Before bed, they would wrap their hair in a silk or satin scarf. Method number 7, the roller set. Blow dryers weren't common in homes, so women would put large rollers in their hair every night before sleep. Sleeping with those hard rollers was nothing short of a test, but they happily endured the discomfort for the sake of morning beauty. Some girls would even use empty orange juice cans as rollers to get extra volume in their hair. Method number 6, the Toni Home Permanent. If someone wanted permanent curls, they would buy a Toni Home Permanent kit. Sitting at the kitchen table, mothers would apply the chemicals to their daughter's hair. The smell would fill the entire house, but that $2 box saved $5 at the salon. It was a perfect example of the self-reliance of that era. Method number 5, apple cider vinegar. In 1954, a bottle of Heinz vinegar wasn't just for salads. After washing, women would mix a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar into a cup of water and pour it over their hair. The vinegar closed the hair cuticles, causing light to bounce off the surface like glass. It was the father of today's most expensive shine serums. The scent vanished in minutes, but the shine lasted all week. Method number 4, backcombing and teasing. In the 1950s, volume was everything. Women would run a comb backward from the ends of the hair toward the roots to create a natural lift. This didn't require any product, it was all in the skill of the wrist. Just 10 seconds of this technique gave the hair a height that stayed all day long. Method number 3, 100 brushes before bed ***. This was the most common and firm advice of the time. Every woman would sit at her dressing table and regularly run a brush through her hair exactly 100 times, counting as she went. It wasn't just a habit, it was the secret to hair health. Using a boar bristle brush with a wooden handle spread the natural oils from the roots to the ends. Those 10 minutes were a moment of peace after a long day that gave the hair a natural glow. Method number 2, bobby pin separation. When the hair was released from rollers or cloth rags, women didn't use a brush or a comb, they used a single bobby pin to separate the curls. They would skillfully groom each lock with the tip of the pin. It was a task of patience, but it was the reason their hair turned into perfect ringlets without any frizz. Method number 1, pin curls, a nightly tradition ***. And finally, the method that defines the 1950s, pin curls. Every night before sleep, women would wrap damp hair around their fingers to form small circles and pin them flat against their head with bobby pins. When they removed the pins in the morning, their hair had magically transformed into waves. No electricity was needed, no expensive curling iron, just a woman's own hands and a little bit of time. Friends, these 20 methods from the 1950s teach us a great lesson. Today, we live in a world where we are convinced that beauty can only be bought from a market. But these women proved that beauty isn't about a credit card, it's about patience and self-love. For them, styling hair wasn't just fashion, those 15 minutes were their own time, when the children were asleep and they sat before the mirror to groom themselves. They performed miracles with kitchen staples that we still long for today, even after spending thousands. If you enjoyed this wisdom from the past, please like this video and tell us in the comments, did your grandmother or great-grandmother use any of these methods? We would love to hear your stories. Don't forget to subscribe to Nostalgic America for more interesting and memorable videos from the past. The next video is appearing on your screen, don't miss it.